All right, so I just want to start with going around the table and introducing ourselves briefly. Again, as you saw in the documentary and me previously, my name is Ann Driscoll.
Garen Pernia.
I'm Emma Underwood.
Yeah, and also if you can share what video you did. So Emma, you did the NED documentary. Yes.
I'm Sappha. I did WHOREMONEY sappha mix.
I'm Mal Sullivan, and I did Eggshells.
Katrina Arisman, I did Kitchen.
I'm Veronique Lair, and I did the Leggy video.
I'm not on the panel. I was just sitting over here enjoying all this good ass energy, you know. So all of you wonderful people out there.
You are singing later, though.
We can keep the one mic over on this side. Cool. All right. So this goes out to the group. So all of y'all are musicians as well as filmmakers. I was curious, did you grow up watching music videos? Was that an important part of your childhood? And tell me about the first music video you ever saw. Start with that.
Oh man, I wasn't prepared for this question. I grew up watching music videos. It was an escape for me as a young queer person in rural Ohio. The first music video I ever saw? Oh snap. Did you send this question out? Yeah. I think it was Bone Thugs and Harmony, East 1999, Eternal.
Hell yeah. I think my first one was Annie Lennox, Walking on Broken Glass, which is by Sophie Muller, who did the Blur Song 2 video.
Garen, your first music?
Oh my God, don't do that to me. Probably Madonna, maybe Open Your Heart or Papa Don't Preach.
Papa Don't Preach, which features a supporting role from that actor in Desert Hearts that we've screened. Anyway.
All I can think of right now is like on DirecTV they had like the Channel 1 station where they would play music videos, and it was probably fucking Nickelback or something. It was something bad. I knew that music videos were a thing before that, but Nickelback was formative.
Was it How You Remind Me, or was it... Okay.
Well, I didn't have a TV at my dad's house for like 7 years when I was growing up, and at my mom's we didn't have cable. So the music video thing kind of hit late for me, but all that's coming to my mind is Hanson and Bop.
We also didn't have cable for very long, but when we did, I remember being obsessed with Rock the Boat by Leah.
I don't know the first video I saw, but I remember being very moved by the Lady Marmalade music video. And the year was 2001, and I was 11. And I was like, I want to watch this video all the time, as many times as possible. The fashion, the divas, everything about it. I was like, very inspired by that video. Age 11, obviously. It affected me the rest of my life.
Wow, those are awesome choices. And I just want to add that the Cool Thing video that we screened by Sonic Youth is by Tamara Davis, who directed the Bop video. Okay. Yeah. Next question. Tell me about how music inspires your filmmaking and how the world of film inspires your music. Okay. Want to go first? First, Sappha?
How music inspires my filmmaking. I feel like I try to think a lot about translating the sounds in a mix because I produce. So when I'm producing, I'm thinking about how will this translate to a music video? How will I dance to this? How will other performers that I feature on the song want to dance to it? And so I try to think about it in exactly the same way, in like a visual kind of way when I'm producing. Yeah.
I feel that from all of you guys. I feel like when I listen to your music, it paints such an evocative picture in my mind. And that's why it's so delightful to see how you guys have translated your music, which is already so visual and so filled with imagery, how you've done it so effectively through the music video medium.
So I guess for me, the way that I write songs generally is that I don't necessarily have a vision of the end product. Like some songwriters and producers, you kind of have an idea of how you want your finished product to sound in recorded form. I kind of, that process kind of unfolds in real time for me. However, with the visuals for music videos, I've generally started with like strong concept and maybe like a color palette, but I generally have an idea of my head of like the storyboard and what I want like in each scene and how I want to kind of unfold that narrative if there is one. And that's been really fun to kind of work backwards and figure out how to make all of those things possible. So like, you know, the whole process of production and everything, finding your team and trying to really like create a visual end product has been so fun. And I feel like I even have ideas for videos in the future that I'm like, well, I don't really have the song for that yet. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to like maybe do some experimenting and kind of write a song or songs like for video format, if that makes sense.
That's such a cool thing, because I was thinking about like, do the visuals precede the music? Does the music precede the visuals? Like sometimes, does it happen at the same time? It's kind of like where I'm going with the question.
Yeah, I think the music does come first, but I think that the music that I am drawn to the most does feel like it creates like a world for me. Like it creates like a separate world. So I appreciate what you said, Anne, because I think like it is just like this space that I can see and like sense and feel when I listen to it. And so I like trying to create music that does that. And then it's fun to like come up with the visuals that go with it and give it like a, I don't know, hit all the senses with it. So it's cool.
Yes, I agree with pretty much what everyone was saying. But for me, it's like I'm less of definitely not a video production or like photography like oriented person, but I like have aesthetic things I'm really drawn to, and that ties in with like how a song like feels, like the vibe of the song. So for me, it's like really getting people who are their expertise is to like create visually that like just meeting people that you can help, that you can trust are able to like work with you to like get whatever is out of your head, or if they've got a strong idea, like be like, I trust you guys, this is what y'all are doing, and help my song.
Yeah, I want to echo what everyone said. It's, for me, storytelling is one of the most important things we can do as human beings. And I find that music is the pinnacle of that form, because you can tell a story without words with music. You can use words to amplify the story. So for me, how I've been working recently in narrative film work is I always start with music, and I go for walks, and I'm just immersed into these worlds that people have created. And I think it's so powerful. And for me, that's like, I come from being a musician for many years into filmmaking, and it's really the root, the rhythm, all of it. It's the most important part of filmmaking for me.
Cool. Thank you guys for that. I just want to get into the specifics of these fantastic music videos that we just saw. Okay, so Mal, can you tell us about the process constructing the sets and production design for Eggshells? Wow, is it a freaking masterpiece of set design and production design? Like, it is sumptuous and detailed AF.
And a pain in the ass.
How many hours?
I have no idea. But it was basically over the course of a month, I was working with my friend Jason Nix, who has a studio in Camp Washington, and he gave me a key and kind of full access to this large studio space. So for about a month, I was just bringing cartfuls of crap into the...
How did you curate the crap? Like, how did you like find the props and all that?
How did I source everything?
Yeah.
Grit and determination. And probably too much money.
Were you like on Amazon, or were you like at Indigo Hippo, or like where were you finding stuff?
I really tried to source things in secondhand. So like the Easter baskets were all from the thrift store. The costuming, that was from Kismet, Lucia Jackson, who helped me with that. And yeah, as far as the other stuff goes, I really tried. Like Indigo Hippo has been a great resource. If you're unfamiliar, it's a really cool store down on Main Street in OTR, and they have like secondhand art supplies and stuff like that. And if you ever have anything to donate, I'm sure they'd love to have your stuff there too. And yeah, I just would go up and I would listen to the same 90s road trip playlist every day in the same order. It's a very good playlist. You can find it on Spotify. And yeah, I just kind of was in craft heaven and craft hell. And yeah, I don't know. It was like a lot of trial and error. I'm like pretty crafty, but I brought power tools up and I like was really like building things, kind of trial by fire. And
were you taking like photos to like understand how it was going to like work visually? Like, were you taking videos like constantly to be like, okay, this is how this is going, like the geometry,
like how's it evolving and everything like that,
or just like how the sets would look like?
Not photos, but I did make drawings. So I kind of had in my head, eggshells. I was kind of trying to keep in the theme of eggshells, yeah, I kind of wanted to create these little like storybook vignettes almost with the scene. So there's kind of the like, Mother Goose fairy tale forest kind of scene, which you can't really tell, but there are these huge paper mache eggs in it that took stupid long time to make. I forgot the question. But I was like, once I kind of had an image in my head, I was starting to see what I was able to source and what my resources were, and then I was like actually drawing pictures with colors and everything like that of kind of what I wanted the sets to look like, and then I kind of built from there.
It's amazing, and also your collaboration with Jason Nix, is that the cinematographer on this?
Yes.
Yeah, the way that it just cinematographically comes together is awesome too. So who's your favorite character in the video? Because you have how many characters, like 6 or something?
There's 4, I think. Okay. There's like the storybook. Well, there's 2 storybook. There's like kind of the undressed version, and then there's the dolled up version with the fake nails. That was actually really fun. I've never worn fake nails before. I feel like such a bitch, and I loved it.
Like with the powdered wig and stuff.
Like. But I think Tony Nowhere was my favorite, probably just because it was more relaxed and it felt like the closest to me, I think.
Yeah. Tony Nowhere being the like the mustachioed sort of cool. And Mal, obviously you've done so many fantastic videos. Just to go through some of them over the past 5 years, you did Still Trying, which I have a cameo in, as does Veronique. By the way, if your friends ask you to be in their music video, do it every time, because it's so like gratifying to be a part of somebody else's art, and you never know how it's gonna all come together. And then you did I'm the name of it is escaping me, but it's the Before, the redo of Before, which is awesome. And the other Deep End Dive, which you did at Ziegler Park and filmed around Cincinnati, and then the one with the horse. What's that one called?
Bury the Hatchet.
Yes. Yeah, and they're all unique and they're all different, and so we could do a whole Mal Sullivan curated music video night, which we should at some point. Okay, I want to pivot. I've been overusing the word pivot because I work in marketing, so I like to pivot. So, Sappha, I love your video so very much, and it's like there's an ancient mythological energy to it because you have these like 3 spirits or archetypes kind of emerging from a natural setting. It feels really timeless, but the message is very contemporary, and it feels like sort of a sex positivity anthem and like just a very empowering feminist commentary, but it has this like ancient energy to it. And I know that you worked with Nikita Gross, who also does photo shoots of sort of the nude female form in natural settings. And I was just wondering if you could talk about what you were trying to convey with the WHOREMONEY video.
Yeah, I really wanted it actually to feel like a Nikita Gross photograph come to life, because that is such a staple of her style, is just these really weird, trippy physical filters. So none of the effects that you see are digital. They're all like little filters that she's putting on her lens that just kind of like geometrically like tessellate whatever the subject is in different ways. And she does that in her photos. And I think this was the first time that she did it in video. So I was kind of asking her to do something a little bit out of her wheelhouse. But Warren Harrison actually kind of like was the connection for that, because we were recording WHOREMONEY Sappha Mix at his studio, and I was like, I really want to do a music video with Nikita Gross. Is that crazy? And he was like, you should just ask her. I was like, okay. And so I think he got me in contact with her, and I had been a fan of her work for years. And sometimes you just have to ask. It's like as simple as like asking someone who you are a fan of. Like, people probably fuck with you way more than you think. And yeah, she had heard my music before, and she was so nice and so cool, and just a very like positively affirming director. We co-directed it together, and she's very just no bullshit. She would be like, okay, I need you guys to move here because the lighting's here, and she was just gave like really straightforward directions, but she was so nice and warm. And that's like my favorite combination of like a director on set, is someone who's just like, we need to get the product to be as good as possible, but also like we're gonna have a good time and just hang out. But yeah, with the three entities, it's cool that you mentioned that, because Dante's Inferno is a big inspiration for the album that WHOREMONEY Sappha Mix is on. It's a concept album about narcissism, and I use Dante's Inferno as a pretty literal metaphor for narcissistic abuse, like just visions of like hell in the album. And the three beasts in Dante's Inferno were definitely on the brain when I wrote it. So yeah.
That's really cool.
In directing yourselves in the music video, is it like a way for you to kind of maintain creative control, or like why do you like kind of like directing yourselves?
I think I like directing myself, yeah, because I feel like I know pretty intuitively like what the most flattering angles are, or, like how I want to be presented. I write shot treatments for all of my music videos, so everything except for the music video for High Priestess. I did a shot treatment for Seraphim, Hoover This, and WHOREMONEY. Yeah, and Bait and Switch, which Ty Kush also directed with me. But yeah, I think just having that level of like control is really important, especially if you have like a DIY project, because I produce a lot of my stuff. I think naturally I just like, I'm kind of all over that space too. Going Grimes with the shit, doing it way different.
Yeah, I think at least for the videos that I've done so far, where I've had like a pretty clear concept, and if there is a narrative, have one of those as well. Kind of being able to use myself as that vessel, just to get it done, even sometimes, because I don't know, when you're doing a project like this and you're producing and directing and you're art director and hair and makeup and all that stuff, it can get a little burdensome to try to think about involving more people, especially for the first couple videos. Just figuring out the ropes, learning how you work best and how you work best with other people, and getting comfortable directing other people. I feel like just inheriting those characters and doing things myself in front of the camera was the most efficient and direct route for getting my stories out there. But I think I'm looking forward to collaborating more, kind of letting some of that control go and seeing where other people's visions can possibly heighten and extend the visions of the songs.
Yeah, I don't have much to add to that. That's kind of how I feel too. Like, I just wanted it to get done, so I bossed people
Do it
around.
yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, it costs money, but it is fun to like challenge yourself in new creative ways. And if you feel like you're focusing on music for so long, it's like cool to just decide you're a filmmaker instead for a second. I don't know.
It's an interesting question because I don't really like the part, like making the videos and that stuff is like the least enjoyable part for me. I like the finished product and I like the creating and the concept and writing the music, but I just like it's the least like intuitive part, like the technical part, and like having other people involved, that's like other level of stress. So I feel like the Leggy video that was shown is like definitely the most high production video we've ever done. And in a way, it was good because it felt like it was just taken out of my hands, and I was just being the one being directed, which was awesome, which was cool, because I didn't, like, it was just like a weight, lift it off. It's a lot when you're the person that's, like, has the final say of everything, which is, like, I already have to be that in the band. I don't want to have to do it in the music video world every time.
And your performance is really strong in that video too. Like you
I feel like I'm such not a good actress. Like, it doesn't feel like I'm doing it naturally or whatever. So, thank you. That's funny.
I don't direct myself. I like to direct other
not
people.
yet, not ever.
Never have. I wouldn't say never.
I have one more question for Sappha, and then I want to turn to Katie. I wanted to ask you about choreography in WHOREMONEY and also in your videos in general. It's like, I know that you work with Engler Gonzalez sometimes, and I was just wondering if you could talk about like what your approach to choreography is, because it's obviously not like the Hayley Kiyoko video style choreography. It feels more improvisational, more free form, but yet it also feels like intentional and expressive.
Yeah, I don't know. I just felt that shit. I try to not overthink movement, I think, because if you overthink movement, you just kind of get into a hole of like, it just becomes unnatural. So I'm really trying to like tap into a stage presence that feels honest, and if I don't feel good that day, maybe that'll translate to my movement. Or if I'm angry, I'm just gonna let myself be angry and not worry about like if my audience thinks that I'm angry at them, because I'm just playing a character. So getting comfortable taking on archetypes that are literally fantasy, because that's like the point of art, is to just become someone else in some way, or symbolize something to someone else. So yeah, I feel like I think a lot about female divinity across different cultures. I think a lot about like Adam and Eve, for some reason, is like, I come back to movements of like how Eve would be in the Garden of Eden, and like biblical lore is very heavy in my work. So I'm thinking a lot about poses that would just make me feel like divine. It's just an energy that I like to channel. So that was on the brain with the WHOREMONEY Sappha Mix music video in particular, and just leaning on Jess and Siri because I love them so much. Just literally like laying in their arms. I wrote that in the shot treatment. Like, I don't know, just lay on them, just film that, just lay on my girls, hang out. See what happens. And that's what we did. It was very quick. It was like a 2-hour shoot, I think. We showed up in this little forest, and Nikita was like, stand here, the light is so good here. I was like, okay. And we did kind of like, it was a performance style music video, but with like some light concept. Because I love doing performance, just straight up like performance videos. And those are very popular right now with music marketing, I feel like. But I always want to have some kind of concept, I think, that like tethers it and gives it substance, so you're not just performing to a camera. So yeah, I felt that shit.
That's cool. Good segue. Oh, I did want to say that it was really cool to see Siri and Jess. They look so relaxed. You guys look very relaxed in that video, and yet it's not lethargic. It's like very vibrant as well, and it's just cool. Pivoting now to Katie. Choreography. This video, you collaborated with is it Movement Emporium? Is that what they're called?
Yeah, Movement Emporium.
Yeah, can
John
you talk
and
about
Cody. Yeah, so I, like I mentioned, I really like Rock the Boat. I love like dance music videos, and I was definitely always like directing all of my friends and making us do dances in the living room and filming them and showing them to my parents and stuff. So I did always want to do a dance music video, and Ray Fisher, he was in the video, she was here and had to go play at Collective, but she was doing like a residency at the Comet, and she was trying to incorporate dance into each night of her residency, and we had just released that song Kitchen, and I knew John and Cody, who own Movement Emporium, and kind of like you were saying, Sappha, like, oh, I don't think they would like want to do anything with me, but like someone told me the other day, let other people tell you no. Like, don't tell yourself no, just like see what happens. And it's not like John and Cody, I mean, to me, John and Cody are like incredible and famous and cool, so I was like, well, they don't want to like dance in my song, but I asked them if they would want, if I could pay them to come and like choreograph a dance to Kitchen and perform it live when we like debuted the song, and it was so cool. And then I was like, okay, well, we should just like do this video, and I asked them about that, and they were down for that too. So, and they brought some of their older students in to be like the backup dancers, and we just like recorded at their studio on Hamilton, and it was very sweet.
Yeah, I love it so much. And can you just talk about how like the tone of the song and the video kind of converge, because like the song has this sort of irreverent sensibility, like it doesn't take itself too seriously. It kind of feels like a song about kind of like being like a bohemian a little bit, like kind of like, you know, hanging out, not really knowing what's good, not having too firm of a plan, which I just love so much. That's my interpretation. Is that how you interpret it?
Yeah, I think clinically the song is about being really bad at time management. But yeah, like, I think, like, and I think the concept is kind of like, I don't know that this really comes across, but it's like that the band is supposed to be at this like rehearsal space to do this dance, but we're just like having pancakes and running late. It's just like a story about my life. So yeah, I don't know. I think it was fun to, you know, like, partly because I'm not like Britney Spears or like Kylie Minogue, or like a really, like, none of us are like really strong, sharp dancers. So it kind of has to be this sort of like whatever vibe. And it just like kind of matched well with the tone, I think, which is good.
I also really like the lighting as the video develops. Like, what was the lighting situation that you had there?
Thank you. Well, we worked with 2020 Productions, which I think is who did Take It Back, right? No. They did a different Leggy video. But I ended up, again, because of money, I ended up editing it myself. And the lighting just is what happened when I did the best with what I had. So thank you for liking it.
I think it's rad. Okay, I know we're running out of time, so I just have a few more questions. Veronique, this Take It Back video. Wow.
Yeah.
So much. It's so dense. There's so many different styles represented in this. There's like, it tells such a complete narrative in such a short period of time. Really curious, was the actor who played the priest mean in real life?
No, he was nice, but he was a little aloof. Like, I think he wanted to give us, like, keep us a little bit scared so that we were a little, like, that came across in the video, honestly. He was funny. Katie's in that video, actually, as an extra. She's rocking out in the scene, in the rock out scene.
Was this, like, truly a massive production? Were there, like, trailers and, like, craft services and cranes?
There was, like, catering, bro. It was honestly bizarre. So it was, the way it came together was, Leggy had a song and, like, a movie that it came out by an Ohio director named Jonathan Sherman, and the movie is called They, Them, Us. And then, like, the next year, he contacted us, and he was like, I teach, like, I don't know, classes, multiple classes at Kenyon College. And he was like, I've got these, like, film students that I want to fund, like, executive produce a music video with you and them. Like, what songs do you have? And so we sent him, like, a bunch of songs. And he was like, well, we want to do this one. And they came up with this whole concept. we really did not know what we were getting into. We just like drove up to Kenyon College. It's like filmed on the college, and then it's like a 2-day production to do this. And the next night was in Columbus at a. They had like, I don't know. Yes, there was a lot of people catering, timing. We were like running late, obviously. We get there, it's like everyone's fucking waiting on us. There's like 40 people. I was like, holy shit. It was awesome. It was a cool experience. It was a little, I feel like it made me feel like, okay, like step up my game. Now I gotta, I don't know. It was like long days and there's cameras and it was crazy. Multiple locations.
I mean,
It
all
was
that
impressive.
effort is.
They
is
had this
reflected.
all planned out, and they were like, "You are breaking out of a convent. You are a nun. You're like the band is busting you out of a convent, and then you're gonna go play a show." It was cool.
Yeah, it's such a cool concept, an amazing narrative. And I would be remiss if I didn't say that you have directed at least one other video yourself, right? The Lipstick on the Mic video.
Yes, yes, and then a couple other like more DIY leggy videos, but that's why this one was like so different feeling.
Yeah,
because it was. I mean, these kids were like not messing around. You know what I mean? There were like 4 main, like young adults that were.
Yeah. And if you haven't
Totally
grabbed a
like this
program-
is what we're doing. The director was a woman named Kaylin. I can't remember her last name. Sorry, but they run DZ Productions and she was no nonsense. She was
Kaylin
like, okay,
Allshouse.
we're gonna need we're gonna need you guys moving over here. They had like cameras on like a track on the floor. It was like so cool.
Yeah. Emma. Yeah.
Just in front of witnesses. I know that you expressed earlier that you didn't really feel strongly about your performance, but I feel like I watched you like stepping into stardom, kind of.
Oh, that's sweet. Well,
It is such a good performance.
Oh, that's sweet. Aw.
And I think it's also like the subtlety of your performance. Like you tell a lot of it through your eyes, which is the hallmark of good acting, you know. And it's because it's like you're going on a whole journey. It's like a mental. Because at the end, it's like, was that all a fantasy or was that reality? I'm intrigued. I want to know. Cool. I just have a few more questions. So Emma, I was wondering if you released your video, or excuse me, your film Pining, Ohio, and I was wondering if you could talk about the experience of directing like narrative films versus documentaries.
Yeah, totally. So I recently finished a short film, 30-minute film called Pining, Ohio, that was heavily influenced by music. Several local artists, including Anne, are in it as the basis of it. And it's interesting for me, there's not much of a difference between directing or at least creating documentaries versus narrative films, because for me, it all comes back down to the story and what story we're trying to tell. The biggest difference comes in like pre-production, of course. Like this is a story I want to best serve. If it's a real person, I want to best serve their art and their vision in the world, and that's really fun to do. When it's narrative, it gets to be it gets to be very. You can do a lot of different stuff that you can't do in documentary. But I really try to approach it the same way, and at every step I'm like, what is the story being told here? How do we best tell it? And then, you know, in film, you're rarely ever working by yourself, so the goal for directing for me is to get everybody on the same page for the vision, whether it's documentary, whether it's fictional film, so that everyone can do their job the best they possibly can and bring as much creativity to their role as they possibly can.
Yeah, that was so evident to me when I went to the premiere at CCM. Just the collaborators that you have and the team that you assembled, and just how invested everybody was, and how positively they spoke about their experience on the film, and how much their contributions were valued and incorporated. It was really a testament to that culture that you foster when you're making a project.
It's really important. Because it's very collaborative, just like music and any other, maybe not any other medium, but I don't know. I just feel like when everyone's allowed to put in their maximum creativity in a collaborative project, it really comes out substantially better than if one person put all their energy in it.
Do you think that you would make another documentary about a musician or music, or do you have other sort of subject matter interests that might command your attention for your next project?
Yeah, I certainly would be open to it. I love making documentaries. I'm more interested in narrative film now and writing and creating these bigger fictional worlds to reflect my inner story. And so I'm continually working in that world right now.
Cool. Thank you guys. Thank you, Emma. Thank you, Veronique. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Mal. Thank you, Sappha. Thank you, Garen. Thank you, Radio Artifact and North by Northside Festival and City Queens. And most of all, thank you guys for being here and participating in this. I had a wonderful time and really appreciate it.